So let us continue our discussion on array. Right, we were solving top 50 array coding problems for interviews. Now we were under level 2. We wanted to complete this problem, that is find the first repeating element in an array. So we last video we completed the first repeating elements. Now it is again change. Question is slightly changed, that is first non-repeating elements in a given array. So let us see the question. So again it is simple. You need to return the first element which is not a repetitive, right? For example, -1. So it is repeated, right? Again, you should not return -1. So 2. Again, 2 is repeated, right? So forget about it. -1, it is again repeated there. So forget about it. Now 3. 3 is not repeated and it's a first element which is not repeated. So you need to return 3 itself. In last video, that is in repeating element, we returned the index +1, right? But in this case we need to return element itself. But there is one problem with the question, and there are some problems in the test cases as well, because you see the question is not proper. Like first non-repetitive elements that we need to return, right? Okay, there are many methods that you can use. So let us apply our brute approach. So what it would be? So my outer for loop will be there. So it will start from 0. Okay. Now I should be less than n. Okay. Then I has to be incremental, right? Now in the inner for loop, what we can do is I will start from 0 again, and I will go till n. But in this case, right, and j shouldn't be equal to, right, j shouldn't be equal to x, because if j and I are same, that means we will be counting the same elements, right? My objective is we need to count. For example, I will be standing on one element, right? Then I will search the array again in order to find whether that element is there or not, right? Other than that element itself, right? We need to count other than that element itself. If we don't apply this condition, then obviously the count will become 2, right? Minimum it will become 2, because one element will be counted twice. Now then j plus plus. Okay. Now if this I, this a of I, if it is equal to, right, if it is equal to a of j, that means we can set the flag as 1. That means this element is not a non-repeating element because it is repeated. So you can do using this method, right? You can set a flag, or you can in else part you can write anything. That's a simple thing we can do. But the problem here is the time complexity should be big of n, right? But if you apply 2 for loops, then it will take big of n square. That means you can't apply this. Some test cases will not pass. Okay, that is fine. And what other thing that you can do is, this is the first method, and the second method what you can do is simply use map. But there is a problem here as well, so let me explain you why. So let me use map first, and I will use unordered map then, right? Let me take the this test case, that is -1, -2, -3, or let me take my own test case and I will explain you that. So I have this array called 1, 2, let me take it as 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay. Now when I apply map, then what will happen? Map will arrange the keys in the ascending order. So 1 is repeated how many times? 2 times. So I am only collecting the occurrence of each and every element. Okay. Now 2 is repeated how many times? 2 times. So again these are my array elements. Now 3 is repeated how many times? It is repeated only 1 time. Then 4 is repeated how many times? It is repeated 1 time. So you again traverse this map, right? You again traverse this map. Then if you find 1, you return this element, that is 3 itself, right? You can do that. But the problem is, and the answer is also 3, because 3 is the first element which is not repeating. There are only 2 elements in this array that are not repeating, 3 and 4, and 3 comes first in the order, right? That is why you need to return 3. But what if your test case is like this, right? Let me erase this. So what if your test case is 4 and 3, right? When that is the test case, your map will still look like same, because map will arrange key elements in ascending order. So 3 will come first, so you will get 3 again, but the actual answer is 4. Okay, that is fine. So you can't use this method then what you can use? Unordered map. Now again, this is again a problem, because key will be not in a proper order, right? You don't know whether, let me take the same example. So 2 may come like this, then 4 may come like this, 3 may come like this, right? It is unordered map and it can arrange anywhere, like even 1 can come down. Like there is no proper order for these maps, for these key values, because it uses the hashing technique to create in the backend, right? Let's forget about it. Now when you have this type of arrangement, then again you can't return a proper answer, because you don't know which elements you will return, because the same problem which was occurred in map, same thing will happen in the unordered map. Then let us do the other procedure. Other procedure is, you can complete the big O of n square, and if you use map, then it will take big O of log n. That is good, log n. Then if you use unordered map, you can get log 1, sorry, big O of 1. It is a constant type. Now time complexity is okay here, but the all test cases will again be not passed. Now what about, there is another technique, that is you can call it as a type 3 tech, or method 3, or type 3. Now you just need to find the XOR of all the elements and you need to return. That is what the technique is. So how it works, so let me show you. Before going to XOR, let me explain you how XOR works. There are two variables, x and y. So x, y. Now if you do x XOR y, then what you get? If it is 0 0, then you will get 0, right? 0 1, you will get 1, 1 0, you will get 1, then 1 1, you will get 0. That means if there are odd number of ones, then you are going to get 1. If there are even number of ones, that is 0 times ones or 2 times ones, then you are going to get the result as 0. And if there are two elements which are same, that means you imagine it is an element, let the element be A, and the XOR of A and A will be 0 always. You can see here 0 and 0 is what? 0, and 1 and 1 is what? 0. Okay, now you have one element, then you are XORing with 0, then what you are going to get? You are going to get that element. For example, you can see here 0 1, you are getting 1. So if there is 1 0, then you will get that element. And another point I need to tell you, that computative property will be satisfied in XOR gate. That means, so you can write like this and it will give the fetch the same result, right? For example, you have this array called 1 1 2, like 3 2, right? This case I will do XOR of these two elements, so I get what? 0. Okay, fine. I will do XOR of this 0 and this 2, right? Then what I get? I will get 2, right? Then I can do XOR of this and again XOR of this result. Let me write here itself. So XOR of this and this element. Why you are not taking 3? You can take 2 XOR 3. You can take this, but even if you mismatch these elements, like the order, if you mismatch the problem, there will be no problem, right? Because it is XOR, it satisfies this property. So 2 XOR of 2 will give you what? It will give you 0. Now you are left with 3. So 0 XOR 3 will give you what? 3. So your answer is what? 3. That means your unique element will be 3. But here there is a catch. Catch is negative elements shouldn't be there. That is what the catch. But your test cases has this negative elements, right? It has this negative elements, and so And first of all, you can't complete this in big of n, right? If you apply the first technique, and if you apply third technique, you can't do this because you have negative elements. And second technique, second method is again not a good choice. Now, how we can solve this? Actually, there is if I will write a code for that, but that test case is not running for that code is not running for this test case, right? When I compile and run, but it can be submitted, right? It can run all 200 test cases, but it can't run this test case. What I was thinking was, in repeating elements, what we did was we took this set, then from backside we were taking the elements, and the last element which is repeated, that is what we return, right? Same thing let us do here. So again, this is not a correct coding technique. It is set. There is so much problem with this code. So let me show you how it works. So set I'm creating. Next I will traverse through this array I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Then every time if this s dot find, right, s dot find arr of I, if it is not there, that means s dot end, right? If it is not there, then this if statement will be satisfied. At that time, what you do is you insert that element, right? Insert that element and make temp is equal to element itself, because I need to return element. Now let me make here take temp int temp is okay. Now if that element is not there in the set, you insert it, then you make this temp is equal to that element. So there is a problem here. You are coming from back, right? So let me come from back. -1 greater than equal to 0, then I minus minus, and here I'm getting 2 here. Then 2, it is not there in set, so insert it and make temp is equal to 2. 3, again you insert it, you make temp is equal to 3, and -1, again insert it and make temp is equal to -1. Here we lost the 3, but answer is 3, right? This test case is not valid. Then again let me compile this. I will show you it will not work. So it will not give proper result. So temp, again I needed to return 3, so I'm not returning anything here. RETU on return TU or in return TMP temp, right? Let me compile this. So this will not give me the result, but if I run, let me submit this, then all the test cases will be passed. See, all the test cases are passed. Okay. Okay, it is passing, right? All the test cases are passed. So that is the problem with this question. So what you can do is, most probably there will be no negative elements, so you can use simply XOR. XOR means what? Simply you can take int temp is equal to arr of 0, then you traverse through this array. You can go from back or front, no problem, because XOR will give you the same result. Let me go from front. So 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Then what I can do is temp temp, then XOR arr of I. But I should start from where? I should start from 1, because I already took the 0th element and I need to return temp. It will give you the result, but for this it will not give you the result. That is for sure. I have checked that one. So this is about this video. So thank you.